Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to another fun-filled edition of Adam's Music Box, where today we want to offer our best well wishes to one of the great guitarists of all time, Robin Trower. Now, Robin said that he's been having some health problems and he's going in for surgery and will need to unfortunately cancel his forthcoming North American tour. However, he said that once he's back in shape, he wants to get back out on the road and play live because that's what he likes doing best, and that's what his audiences love too. Now, this gives us an opportunity to, show some appreciation for the great musicality of Robin Trower. Let's look at what the guitar scene was like in the late 60s when Robin Trower became a household name, first as the lead guitarist with one of the great bands of all time, Procol Harum. Now, Procol Harum was kind of a genre in and of itself. It combined very Baroque, classical inspired organ and piano simultaneously. There was obviously Gary Brooker, the lead singer and pianist, and also there were organists, first Matt Fisher and then Chris Copping. And it provided a very thick, unique sound. And on top of this, you have the very soulful, bluesy guitar of Robin Trower and the great drums of B.J. Wilson, a really unique sound. Now, by 1973, after the Broken Barricades album, which was released a year or so before, Robin went out on his own, and his own music was really a reflection of what he kind of wanted to do all along. It was pretty heavy blues-based rock, just classic stuff. The kind of stuff that you put it on and just say, this rocks. No pretense, but lots of technical skill on the guitar, nevertheless. And his classic lineup was alongside his bassist and lead vocalist, Jimmy Dewar, one of the very best voices in rock. For a blues-based rock singer, you could put him right up there with people like Paul Rodgers, one of the very best vocalists ever. And this gave the Robin Trower bands a really unique sound that combined just peerless vocals with exquisite guitar playing. Now, a lot of people tend to think of Trower as a kind of heir to Hendrix, and this is also a title that's ascribed to the great Ernie Isley. The way that I would refer to it is by looking at what Hendrix was doing just before he died. Hendrix's first albums with The Experience were in that vein of psychedelic blues rock, and later on with Band of Gypsies and some of his other later projects, he not strayed, but went more and more into the territory of funky, soulful guitar. Now, Ernie Isley, who was a student of Jimi Hendrix, definitely inherited that soulful, funky sound, that bending. But Robin Trower was also one to really bend in the bluesy rock genre. So really, if you want to say who were the heirs to Hendrix, it's both. It's both Ernie Isley and Robin Trower. Now, Trower's first solo album, Twice Removed from Yesterday, one of his very best, produced by Matt Fisher of Procol Harum, and again, no filler. And this is something that isn't always easy with blues rock, especially when a guitar soloist is the featured act in the ensemble, if you will. There's a tendency among some people in that genre to just use songs as vehicles for soloing, but that was never the case with Trower. In addition to being a great soloist, he crafted very, very good, memorable, interesting songs. And this was true on every single one of his albums. The songs really meant something. They weren't mere vehicles for soloing. And this could explain why he was so beloved. Robert Fripp from King Crimson, even as an adult who had already achieved fame, took guitar lessons from Robin Trower. And a young Van Halen playing the high school parties and clubs of LA covered Robin Trower. And that's also a bit interesting because Eddie Van Halen was also someone who, whilst some remember him as being one of the greatest soloists of all time, he was also a great songwriter, as was Trower. And a slightly younger Eddie recognized that about an already successful Robin. Um, his solo albums sold worldwide, but he was always most popular in North America on the rock circuit. And that's where he's been touring for well over 50 years now. Now, Jimmy Dewar unfortunately got ill in the late 80s with a really obscure disease. And by the late 90s, early 2000s, I think it was 2002, Jimmy sadly died. But even when Jimmy got sick, another great Scottish vocalist worked with Robin Trower, and that was Davy Patterson, who is possibly more well known for his work as the lead singer of Ronnie Montrose's band Gamma, the band that he created after doing some solo work and after his original Montrose band, which of course featured Sammy Hagar, another kind of Van Halen connection there. Robin Trower's albums are so listenable. All of them are well recorded and produced. The songs are great. The singing is great. The playing is great. He really never put a foot wrong. He was never really one to experiment. He had his formula and he just did it really, really well. And again, if formulaic music is hard, it's hard sticking to a formula and keeping it interesting. But Robin Trower always able to do just that. So we hope to see him on the road again soon. We hope that he recovers from the surgery soon. He didn't tell us what it is. That's obviously his business and not ours, but we do wish him all the very best because he wants to play live and audiences want to see him. He's always consistently been a crowd pleaser, and I'm sure he will be again very soon. Like, subscribe. We will see you next time. Take care.